Hey YouTube, Sean Robinson here. First of all, I want to thank you for taking the time to check out my newest video, the song called Romantic Dreams from the band Deftones off their latest album, No Yokan. As was the case on my previous Deftones cover, I want to thank the tremendously talented Graham LeDuc for helping me put this track together as well as the video. On top of that, I want to thank him also because he's very knowledgeable in audio mixing and that sort of thing. And I was able to pick his brain about certain things, certain techniques he would use to do certain things, and he was very willing to give out that knowledge and that experience. And I really appreciate that. Thank you very much, Graham. Another thing that's similar to my previous cover was Stephen Carpenter uses an 8-string guitar on this track as well on the original album. The tuning of the guitar is standard all the way across, except on the lowest string, which is normally an F sharp if it was standard tuning. He tuned that down to an E, so essentially it's like a drop E tuning. Obviously, I don't have an 8-string acoustic, so I did what I did similar to my other cover. I dropped everything one whole string down, so I'm going from B to B on the guitar. I do have to admit that I did cheat a little bit while I was putting this track together, because I do own actually a Stephen Carpenter model baritone 8-string ESP LTD 8-string guitar, and I love it. Oh, I love it. I actually, during the part of the song where he actually does go down to the low E string for this riff, this F sharp riff that he does, that he normally does on the middle E string during the earlier part of the song, and I couldn't tune my guitar, my acoustic guitar, down that low, because the intonation was so way off. Open, it would have been in tune, but fretting, playing frets, it would have been out of tune. I couldn't do it. Now what I did is I actually used played my electric 8-string during this one section just to get a little more meat in that section that made it different than the other parts of the song that are used essentially the same riff, but it's an octave lower. Now another thing I had to deal with is if you listen to the song actually jumps tempos a lot. Okay, now I have a theory about why that is. I mean, I may not be totally correct, but I have a theory. When they were recording the track, it's kind of one of those tracks that is a collection of riffs. Like I've read that they actually, during a lot of sessions, they'll just play riffs playing together to a click track and then take those ideas and put them together. This track is simply like a Frankenstein track, basically being pieced together from different ideas at different tempos, pieced together in Pro Tools or whatever software they use, and then put the song together that way, meld them together. Because once it changed tempos, it was always a constant tempo at that section of the song. When it changed to a different section of the song, it was a different tempo, but it was a constant tempo once it changed to that new tempo. It didn't fluctuate as if there was no click track. There was a click track, but there were several click tracks in several sessions those parts were kind of eventually Frankenstein together into one song. Chino probably did the vocals over it, and then now it's a song. Now I may not be totally correct on this. I don't know. But that's my theory, and I'm sticking to it pretty much. The tempos on the original track range from 128 beats per minute all the way up to 152 during the chorus. So if you compare basically the intro to the chorus, you're looking at a difference of like 30 beats per minute difference. What I did ultimately, because I wanted it to be one tempo, I didn't want to deal with it being, my version, my cover of the song being separate tempos. Because I do need it to be in line with the click track because of MIDI reasons and stuff like that. So ultimately what I did was I actually increased, I sped up certain sections, I slowed down other sections, basically, and got the entire song, the entire original song, to be a constant 145 beats per minute. So that when I sent the track off to Graham, he drummed to it at the constant tempo, then he was able to give me the drum tracks at 145 beats per minute, which then obviously I laid down all the rest of the tracks that I did. You can kind of tell the chorus is a little slow. I think you can kind of tell, because that's normally the fastest part of the song. I think you can tell maybe a little bit that the intro is a little faster than maybe what you're used to, because that normally is the slowest part of the song. But I think everything else, it seems to meld pretty well. Like I said, that's kind of what I had to go through ultimately in the production of this cover that you're about to listen to right now. Like I said, I really appreciate you taking the time to check this out. If you want to see more covers, please subscribe to my channel. I come out with something between 3 to 4 every about 2 or 3 weeks, 3 to 4 weeks. As well as like and comment. You know, let me know if you don't like it. You know, on my last cover I did, I got a lot of comments, which they're constructive. I appreciate it all. I don't, believe me, I don't. Even the ones that said they didn't like it, I still thank them, for taking a chance on me. And I apologize. Hopefully the next one will turn out better. But I appreciate all the comments. So, like I said, if you have something great to say, obviously, thanks. If you have something, maybe more critical, maybe more on the level of maybe you want to critique, maybe, or just tell me flat out didn't like it. What am I doing? I'm wasting my time. What the case may be, that's perfectly fine too. I accept all comments and I appreciate them all. So, like I said, that's perfectly great. So, if you want to go ahead and click the link down your bottom right hand corner, and go ahead and enjoy the video.